ancestors. All right, if you saying that they was that motherfucking weak, and I'm just saying it like that. If that shit went down like that, they some punk ass people, for real. And then none of them come and you. Well, I say that particular statement for a little later when I deal with this guy Ishmael Allah. But when we talk about, you say that all the people was united. They couldn't have been united. Again, we talking about King James was black, so he was one of your people. He was a black man. But if he was in the 17th century, of course, the King James authorized version of the Bible came out 1611. The slave trade was in full swing by then. You know what I mean? So that means that if England is involved in the slave trade of Africans, while they have what? A black man as their motherfucking king, nigga. That's why the fuck it's relevant. In other words, so you got niggas enslaving niggas. And all the way down to the 19th century, you had a black woman by the name of Queen Charlotte Sophia, who was the Queen of England before these Queen so-called Elizabeth II and Prince Charles and Diana and all these motherfuckers that you got now. She was the queen at a time in the 19th century. So the niggas was in, you had black heads of state in Europe, just like you had black heads of state in the United States. All right, research Thomas Jefferson in terms of J.A. Rogers' 5 Negro presidents, and you know, do some research on. They got videos on YouTube, and I got to go back and look because I forgot, and I was thinking about it the other day, but I didn't go search. But I saw some videos on YouTube where they're breaking down a lot of information in terms of Andrew Jackson and Thomas Jefferson. Now they got others, but I just say those two because Lincoln, who was another one that was a black man, but Lincoln and Warren G. Harding and all them people that they talk about, that comes after the so-called Emancipation Proclamation, or if you're talking about Lincoln. But as far as Thomas Jefferson and Andrew Jackson, that was during what you call the period of slavery. Now, if they got a black president, while they enslaving black people, then they ain't your people. That you see what I'm saying? They not down. Now, whether or not you want to believe it or not, you just got to do the research. Because Negroes is too simple. You know you dealing with an idiot when the motherfucker really think that everybody on that continent was united just because they was black. That niggas ain't never fight. You got niggas fighting today, but niggas ain't never fought before then. Before now. And not only that, again, but the niggas was all united on their own land, and a white man, a foreigner, who can't stand the heat. He needs sunscreen. He came down there with no sunscreen, not used to the heat, didn't have no armies. He didn't come with no warships. He came with a ship and took all the niggas. And he made it over here to America with the niggas and didn't get killed before he left that motherfucking island. I wish a devil would try to come in my house and do harm to or take any motherfucking thing. I bet you he won't make it to the steps. Maybe his head might roll down the steps or something. But his whole body is not going to make it outside that house alive. Now, he referred me to Ishmael Allah. Brother got nice research. He went through numbers and went through. So what he's saying is, the point was that Ali Muhammad, he said he was lying. That the Austin Lorenz company in South Carolina was not the largest slave trade company. Now, I told the brother, I said there's an art to listening. Why did I say that? People got a problem. Motherfuckers cannot listen to exactly what you're saying. For example, I was watching a video Black Sun had about 6-part series. I think, as a matter of fact, right now I think it's his latest episode of the Hero of Israel show, where the sister, the woman that was on there, she was on there before. She's an older sister. I forget her name, but she on this episode she had like a black dress, and she wasn't sitting on the panel this time. She was sitting off to the left with like three other young sisters, right? And she got to talking, and Black Sun and all the brothers, Jay Realist and all them, was talking about the Bible and how it was corrupted and stuff. They mentioned that, and the sister mentioned, she was like, God exists. And, whether or not we need to start arguing, one thing about niggas, Black Sun and the brother, they never said, for example, if what she was saying was like, God is real. He is real. He is there. Black Sun and Jay Rich, they never said that. They said the Bible been corrupted. They said Christianity is a lie. It didn't say there was no God. See, that's the problem with niggas. You equate certain statements with something else that it ain't got shit to do with. I was thinking about this the other day. You dealing with a slave mentality. What I mean? Whatever the white man say go down, that's what go down. He say he took 100 million niggas off their own continent, and he came over here. Then he did it. You see what I'm saying? He say he discovered this land, he did it. He say he translate the Bible at a time where he studied Hebrew, at a time when he still thought the earth was flat, he did it. He say he went to the moon, he did it. You see what I'm saying? That's a slave mentality. Motherfucker ain't did a goddamn thing. All right? Stop being scared of the boogeyman. A nigga will see the world through the white man's eyes. What do I mean? If the average black person, if they look at a country that's populated predominantly by black people, they will look at that black person will look at that country, and automatically, before they know anything else about that country, they would see that country as a third world or developing nation, or a nation that is on a lower level than the United States and all these European Union ass Canadian, Russian motherfuckers, whatever. If a nigga looks at that that country, and the dominant political system of that country is not the so-called democracy, a nigga would say, oh, them people don't know how to run a government. Why? Because democracy is what you identify with white people. So if they not doing, they can have a government, but if they not doing it the way white people do it, you're going to say, oh, they ain't doing it right. If Christianity is not the dominant religion in that country, you're going to say they don't know God. They can have their own religion, but nah, Christianity is what you identify with the white folk. So if they ain't doing what the white folk doing, they ain't doing it right. See what I'm saying? So that's how a nigga is. Niggas don't understand that you still operating in the slave mentality. So the brother was like, well, you got to do research. Ali Muhammad ain't tell the truth. You got to do your own research. Don't just be taking people's word. No, nigga. Taking people's word for it. That's what made me believe that the man was that bad anyway that he can go enslave on them folk. You see what I'm saying? But when you do research, you might find out something else was going on. Now, as far as Ali Muhammad in particular, the brother Ishmael Allah, he spent a 3-video series, didn't even deal with the brother's point. And you got niggas on there that would, come on applauding him. Oh, you killing him. You shit. He had one dude made a comment, what did he say? You need to take some Pepto-Bismol to keep you from shitting on these niggas. I said, man, niggas is crazy, man. Because a nigga, a nigga can't comprehend. Like I told him, I said there's an art to listening. You didn't deal with his point.